All right, let's turn now to a discovery not just out of this world, but out of the solar system. Astronomers are trying to gather information about a comet passing Earth, first discovered on July 1st near Jupiter, with scientists not knowing where it came from. Now, eventually, they figured out this object, now named 3I Atlas, was an interstellar visitor. Astronomers in Hawaii have captured the first close-up image.
The third one was discovered on July 1st, 2025, this year, just a few weeks ago. There is a new interstellar object, at least a candidate at that time. That was just the night over which it was realized by a few amateur astronomers that indeed the Atlas survey, that's a telescope of 0.5 meter, which by coincidence discovered the third interstellar object, 3I Atlas. The reason I said you should take a vacation before October 29th is if it happens not to be a comet. So if we don't see a cometary tail, that would be really intriguing. Irrespective of the trajectory, just the fact that it's a 20-kilometer object, it cannot be, there is not enough mass in rocks in interstellar space to give you a 20-kilometer object every decade. And what I'm saying is by orders of magnitude, I'm not talking about a factor of 2, orders of magnitude, several orders of magnitude off. The numbers just don't match. So if it's not a comet, it's really strange, and we should be worried about it being technological.
A mystery interstellar object spotted by astronomers last week could be the oldest comet ever seen, according to scientists. It's only the third time they've detected an object that's come from beyond our solar system.
This is the first we saw of it, a mysterious interstellar object. It is only the third time we have detected an object that has come from beyond our solar system. As far away as the planet Jupiter, 3I Atlas was discovered last week, and astronomers raced to identify it. Now they think they have.
This means that 3I is almost certainly the oldest comet we have ever seen, by about 4 billion years.
Scientists from Oxford University presented their findings today at the Royal Astronomical Society meeting in Durham.
The discovery is really exciting. I've just finished my PhD, where I spent 4 years predicting what the population of interstellar objects is going to look like. And for the first time in that time, we have new data to apply these predictions to and make comparisons and do some really interesting science with. So it's absolutely fantastic. Our range says that it's probably older than kind of 7 or 8 billion years. The Sun and the solar system and the Earth only formed about 4.5 billion years ago. So it could easily be twice as old as the planet we're stood on, the sun that's shining on me now, and every single other comet that we've seen so far.
What's the significance of an object like this entering our solar system?
Well, these are really exciting. This is only the third one ever discovered. And what these are, they're leftovers from the process of building planets and stars in another solar system. And this is the only way we're ever going to get a close-up sample to study, even briefly, as it passes through our solar system. The important thing is we'd like to see if planet-building process is the same elsewhere, because that has implications for life elsewhere.
So close-up is a relative term because by most standards it's pretty far, maybe not by astronomical standards, and it's only been a short period of time since it was detected. Have we learned anything so far about this comet?
Certainly, of course, we're still in the mad scramble to get telescope time to take the observations and analyze them. But we know that it's relatively big compared to the other two. The other two were kilometer scale or so. This one could be as large as maybe 20 kilometers in diameter, but that's an upper limit. It's red, meaning it's probably covered in organic materials like comets are. We haven't seen any signature that it's spinning yet, but there's a lot of dust coming off of this. So what we're hoping for as it gets closer to the sun is to really understand the chemistry to see if it's different from other star systems.
The team think the comet originated here in the Milky Way from a place called the Thick Disk, full of ancient stars. Its orbit seen here in red dotted lines. When it approaches the sun later this year, 3I Atlas could leave a tail of blazing dust visible from Earth. Before this, only 2 interstellar objects had ever been seen. Now, with the newest telescope, Vera Rubin in Chile, starting an immense celestial survey, we could find many more of these remarkable visitors. Georgina Ranard, BBC News.
Now, as insane as it may sound, it looks like a Harvard paper by social science researchers raised some pretty far out there possibilities that could explain the whole UAP stuff that I have become very obsessed with. They're posing 4 possibilities, like maybe crypto-terrestrials, or like this secret advanced civilization that's been hiding somewhere here on Earth, or even maybe the moon where we can't see them, or maybe humans from the future are visiting us, or maybe like magical beings like fairies or angels are real. Now, has this paper been peer-reviewed? No. Looks like the original link doesn't work anymore either, but those headlines traveled the world anyway. So what the heck is going on? Well, we are lucky enough to be joined by the one and only Harvard academic and astrophysicist who we've been talking to about UAP issues for years, Harvard University Professor of Science and Astronomy, Avi Loeb. Professor, thanks so much for being with us. And as soon as I saw the headlines on this paper, I ran to this paper, I scanned, I did not see your name attached there. So I do have to say, though, whether you had anything to do with this or not, you have been, in my eyes, one of the first academics, Ivy League academics, that has taken the idea of extraterrestrials very seriously and discussed it. I'm not sure what kind of Pandora's box you opened, but when it comes to this paper, I got to ask, what do you think about your peers, what they're writing over at Harvard there?
Well, thanks for having me. Indeed, I think that it's arrogant of us to think that we are the only ones out there. There might be a much more advanced civilization. It's very easy to come up with ideas, much more difficult to come up with materials from interstellar space. So I'm actually pursuing the latter.
I'm glad you brought that up, because the last time we checked in with you, I think you had just gotten back from an ocean expedition in the middle of the Pacific, I believe, or in the middle of the ocean, looking for like the tiniest little fragments of what you thought might be an interstellar probe, or a probe from, another civilization potentially. Like, what's the latest with the material evidence there?
This object was discovered as a meteor. It exploded over the Pacific Ocean. The fireball that released a few percent of the Hiroshima atomic bomb energy was detected by sensors aboard the US government satellites, and they pinpointed the location. Based on that region that the Department of Defense provided us with, we went there and we put a sled with magnets on the ocean floor, going back and forth 26 times, and we collected spherules. These are molten droplets from the explosion of a meteor, and 10% of those showed a chemical composition that was never reported before in the scientific literature, does not resemble what we find on Earth, Mars, the Moon, or any other solar system material that we are familiar with. And so our inclination is that it came from outside the solar system. The evidence that the meteor itself came from outside the solar system was that it was moving faster than 95% of the stars outside the solar system. It was very fast, and moreover, it disintegrated only in the lower atmosphere, so it was tougher than all meteors previously reported by NASA. And therefore, we are presently planning another expedition to find bigger fragments, bigger pieces among the wreckage of this meteor, and figure out whether it was natural or artificial.